Hey everyone, welcome back to my VR platformer. I've got a bunch of exciting changes to show you today. As you can see, a few of them visually with the environment. I have a lot of changes in terms of how the camera works, which is a main mechanic of the game. And I have a lot of similar things, and I have some other things being shown in different ways. So I'm excited to show you this level. First thing you'll notice is it's very similar to Crash Bandicoot in terms of the way the camera works. When I move forward, the VR camera, the HMD, the headset, will move with the character, which is a great alternative to my previous solution, which was when I was teleporting around the level. And the reason I really like this design is that it doesn't make you feel sick or nauseous. You're at the constant head level the whole time. You're not teleporting around, which was a bit awkward. You're simply just moving along with the character, and this is a massive change because it really influences the design of the level. You have to keep the level designed to go straight forward, and you have to have really interesting sections on the side that the player can look at and find secrets in and try and figure out. For example, there is a little simple puzzle here where you have to figure out how the player can get up to this location up here. Now obviously they can't jump high enough, but you could try and use these crates to get onto that point. So if I was to jump up to here, whoops, jump onto this crate and then jump up to here, that's one solution. I could also go back onto this crate and take this one, drag it up, and get my character to jump up there as well. So your character can actually move and be on this crate. And you can use that to get them to higher points, which is really cool. And it's a great use of the player interacting with the world to help the character out. I'm just going to get these gems over here. This mechanic coming up now is something you saw in the previous video, where you can move these crates around because they're too heavy for the character. And you'll notice what I've tried to do here is set up a very enclosed start of the map. Now we have a more open part of the map, which is really nice to look at and to look around. So this section here, of course, the player can't move these metal crates, so you have to move them out the way, which is really fun to just kind of move them out the way and bash them around. Now we'll move on to the next section, which just has three really simple enemies that you're just jumping on at the moment. None of these characters or enemies are final at all. Still messing around with a ton of mechanics and different player interactions. This is a puzzle you would have seen last time where you have to move the gate up, which requires something to stand on that button. If the player was to stand on that button, it would close by the time they reached it, but I can use this metal crate, place it on top of the button, and now it's opened the gate. And I can go off to these side sections and pick up the gems over here. And I can pick up the hidden gems behind that crate. Ooh. So this was a look at my updates and what I've been working on for this VR prototype, which will eventually be a full-on game. Currently I'm developing it with the Oculus in mind, but if it gets enough demand, of course, I will look into HTC Vive. In terms of the character itself, I'm still looking at a lot of different options, because I have one more button free, so the character could potentially do melee attacks, if that was something that would be interesting. But at the moment, I'm enjoying mostly figuring out interesting ways to interact with the world. So most of this current change was to implement the new camera system, and see how it works with this pickup system, and it's worked extremely well. And as I mentioned before, Crash Bandicoot was a really great reference to use. And I was actually lucky that they're doing this remaster because it made me have a look at the game, and I thought, oh, why don't I just implement that system into the VR platformer? It makes a lot more sense. It makes playtesters way less sick because it's at a constant head height, and it's way less confusing for people. When I was playtesting the teleportation system, it was very confusing for players. For this system, it's a lot more straightforward, and people really like it and they understand it, and it's so simple. And you're usually looking in an area for an amount of time, like when I picked up these crystals over here. So you're not rotating your head every 2 seconds. And when you move, the player, you expect the camera to move, so your mind is ready for it. So that all works really well. I hope you guys like this look at my VR platform prototype. I'm so excited to share the progress with you every 1 or 2 weeks when I have some great updates for it. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the VR platformer, and I'll see you guys in the next video.